Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing the mum tag, and this was made by Emily Norris. I personally love Emily's channel. She does all the kid videos that I would love to watch, and all her videos are really good, and she puts a lot of work and effort into them, and you'll be able to tell if you do watch her videos. The first question is favourite mum hack. I'm not really a hack mum, if you kind of get what I'm saying, but if I had to choose one, it would be hiding vegetables and things like that in food. Because even though Cole is only coming up to 10 months this month, he is going through a fussy phase, and if he sees something on his plate, fruit or vegetables on his plate, a lot of the time he won't go for it if he sees something else on the plate, no matter what it is. So say you're putting some pasta on a plate for Cole and then you're putting some fruit on there. He will go for the pasta rather than for the fruit. So instead of going for fruit and vegetables, he'll go for anything else that's offered to him. So I like to mix the vegetables in with food, and I know some stores have actually started doing a bolognese mix with hidden vegetables already in them, which will save you so much time. And I'm definitely going to get hold of some for sure, because I always like to make sure that Cole has vegetables and fruit a lot of the time, at least twice a day at least. For me, it's so important that I can get as much good food into Cole's diet without him refusing to eat it. Most embarrassing mum moment. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, this was literally the most embarrassing thing. So I moved into this house in October, and I had an engineer come over, and Cole decided to do a poo explosion all over his bouncer, and I just didn't know what to do. So I kind of like tried to hide it with a towel, and I think the engineer knew. I think he knew, so I literally could not wait for him to get out of the house quick enough. But luckily within 5 minutes he was gone, and I had to clean him up and everything. But that was literally probably one of the most embarrassing moments of being a mum so far, definitely. I don't think I've had any other embarrassing moment apart from that, and I never ever want for that to happen again, not gonna lie. What part of the day do you love the most? I don't know, because I kind of cherish every single moment. I don't really feel like I have a favourite part of the day. If I had to choose a favourite part of the day, it would most likely be the evening, because they're the most chilled. And since we do dinner, after dinner, it's just so chilled. We give him a bath and I put him to bed, and he plays for a little bit after he's had his tea, and it's just super chill compared to the mornings and the afternoon, which is normally pretty hectic. Because right now I'm filming this while Cole is napping right next to me. I'm surprised he's not woken up yet. And then we're off to the play area this afternoon, so that is what we're doing. It doesn't sound really hectic, but there's so much to do around the house, and when you go out and you've got a young baby, you do not realise how much stuff you need, how much stuff you need to take. So my days are pretty hectic, but come to evening, it's not actually that hectic. Probably say the evenings are my favourite part of the day for sure. What part of the day do you like the least? I definitely say the mornings, especially just waking up, because Cole's different. Like one day he'll wake up just after 5, one day he'll wake up at 6. It kind of depends, and sometimes I can wake up and feel on top of the world and feel great, and then other days I can wake up and think, oh my goodness, I just feel like I need to nap for at least another 3 hours. So it kind of depends, but I definitely am going to say that mornings are my least favourite, especially those early mornings. What's the worst thing somebody said to me whilst I was pregnant? I don't really know. I think obviously because I'm young, I had a lot of things said to me and about me, not always directly to me, which I found so annoying. But I would definitely say the worst thing somebody said to me is, "You're getting so big." And people probably think this isn't a big deal, but I don't feel like that's something you should ever say to a pregnant woman or anything like that. I had that said to me quite a few times, and I don't like people saying that, because obviously when you're pregnant, a lot of mums' confidence goes down, because obviously their body's changing and they might not feel as confident. And I think you could put it in a lot more different ways than saying you're big. Do you know what I mean? So if you're to say that to someone, just think before you say that, because it can come across quite rude. So I would definitely say that's the worst thing somebody said to me. There's probably more, but off the top of my head, that's probably up there with one of the worst. Baby names we didn't agree on. To be honest, we already had our names picked before I even got pregnant. I've always known what names I wanted to call my children, and I already have names in mind if I ever have a girl or if I ever have any other children. We never really disagreed because we kind of just already knew what we wanted, and Dylan was really easy to please. He wasn't one of those ones that I don't like that and I don't like that. It was just really easy to please, so that was, we was quite lucky with that one. Do you co-sleep? I did. I have co-slept before. I did when Cole was a little bit younger. I have co-slept when he's poorly as well. When he was poorly last year, like horrendously poorly, I did co-sleep with him because he was so unsettled and I just wanted to be close to him, to look after him and things like that. So yes, I have co-slept before. Obviously it doesn't work for everyone, there is bad stuff about it, but isn't the on everything. I have co-slept in the past, but I do not currently do it. If I need to co-sleep, whereas say Cole's poorly or something like that, then I will co-sleep, but apart from that, I don't really co-sleep very often because, I'm not gonna lie, I like my space. Something you bought but never used. Baby monitors, and I wanted to get them at first because I thought, you know what, it's going to be easier for me to hear them when I'm downstairs or something like that, but the truth is, I can hear him quite well now, being in this house, so it's quite a small house, and when I'm downstairs I can still hear him and everything, so I thought, to be honest, they're not really worth it if I can hear him and things like that. If anything's wrong, I'll know. So probably the one thing that I've never used that I've bought. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything that I've not used, obviously apart from some clothes and things like that, but baby monitors are definitely one thing that I never used. To be honest, when I first had Cole, I didn't buy them. It was in Lidl that I actually bought them. I actually found these months ago and actually did a video on it on must-haves for babies, and I said a baby monitor, and in a way it is a must-have because if you've got a big house and you can't hear your baby and you need to go and do something, taking this around the house so you can hear if your baby is unsettled is a great way instead of you being stuck in the room with them. But a lot of the time I edit at night and things like that, so I'm in the room with Cole and I know exactly what's going on and things like that, and I'm not really away from him very often, so that's mostly why I don't really use baby monitors, but they're definitely a good use if you want to try them, but personally for me, I've just never used them and I don't plan on using them. Maybe for my next child I might, but I'm just not sure yet. 3 hospital bag must-haves. Pyjamas. Pyjamas, so many. Bring 5, even if you think you're just coming overnight, maybe bring 6, 7, 10. It doesn't matter, bring as many pyjamas as you can, because honestly, I think I brought maybe 2-3 pairs, not even joking. I had to change within like every couple of hours. Now, things happen when you've had a baby, so I don't think we need to go into any more detail about that, but bring loads of pyjamas because I kept having to change mine, and then it got to a point where I didn't have any, so my mum had to go and get me some more. So yeah, definitely bring plenty of pyjamas, because obviously when you've had a baby, you bleed, if you have any accidents, you want plenty of pyjamas. Another one is breast pads. I am so glad I brought breast pads, I'm not even gonna lie. Some people's milk doesn't come through to a few days after. Mine came in 2 days after giving birth, and oh my goodness, I was in so much pain, and breast pads were a lifesaver at that time. Definitely bring breast pads, and bring plenty as well, bring plenty. Last one that I'd probably suggest is snacks. I lived off my snacks whilst I was in hospital, and it got to a day, I think it was 2 days, was it 2 days after giving birth or was it 1? 2 days, 2 days after giving birth, I went through this phase of literally not stopping eating for probably a full on 2 hours. I just had to eat constantly because I was just so hungry, and I don't know what came over me, but I was so thankful for them snacks at that time. Are you a routine mum or go with the flow mum, and what does bedtime routine look like? It kind of depends. I do like a routine, but I also don't mind not having a routine as well. It kind of depends. I'm not a really strict mum where my children have to be in by a certain time because they've got bed and stuff like that. If we're doing things, then I don't really specifically need Cole to go to bed at a certain time. I don't make sure that I'm home just so Cole can go to bed and things like that. I'd say in some cases I'm a routine mum, but I wouldn't say really I'm a routine mum. I say the only time I really have a routine is during night time. That's kind of it. So to be honest, I'm probably more of a go with the flow mum. For bedtime, I usually give Cole his tea around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we play for about an hour after that, and then I give him a bath sometimes, depending on what day it is, because he has a bath every other day. We don't always give him a bath before bed because sometimes I do tend to bath him during the day because we do have a lot more time. Depends on what he's eating. If he's eating anything like spaghetti bolognese or something really messy, I do give him a bath after his dinner. But if he's not messy and we haven't had a messy dinner, I don't always tend to give him a bath at bedtime. And normally I do tend to give him a bath during the day. Don't we have a bath during the day? What type of labour did you have and what pain relief did you use? Well, I was actually induced for my labour because I ended up with really bad SPD, and because of my health conditions, it just wasn't doing me any good. When I went to see the consultant a week before being induced, she could just see how much pain I was in and how uncomfortable I was. So I ended up being induced at 39 weeks. I'm not going to give you the whole story because I have got a video on it. But I ended up having the epidural. It is what I always wanted. I didn't want any other pain relief other than the epidural. I did use gas and air, but for me it just didn't work. It didn't even take the edge off for me. So I didn't use gas and air. I mean, I tried it, but I didn't use it for my actual labour. And to be honest, I didn't even feel any of my labour. I didn't feel my contractions or anything like that. So when people are saying labour's really painful, I honestly couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. Yeah, so honestly I couldn't tell you. I don't know because I didn't feel it. I felt my contractions at the beginning, which were quite strong, but when you're on the hormone drip, which I was put on, your contractions do come on a lot more full on. I ended up having an episiotomy because they needed to get Cole out, and obviously I just needed more room for him to come out. So I ended up having an episiotomy, and Cole came out with help from suction because he was struggling. I needed to get him out as soon as possible because his heart rate was dipping, and I was so close to needing a C-section. But luckily I didn't have to have a C-section, so I'm quite lucky in that aspect. But I genuinely did think I'd need to have one. That's why they used suction, because they needed to get him out quickly and he was struggling to get out. Have you ever been mum shamed? Absolutely, absolutely, most definitely. When I first had Cole, people weren't necessarily saying to me, oh, you're a bad mum, but they were saying things like, oh, you're like trying to tell me what to do, when to do it, as if to say I'm doing everything wrong. But honestly, that really annoyed me because I was trying my best and I genuinely wasn't doing anything wrong. I think when people are parents before you, they think that what they did was right, and they think that you've got to follow their way of parenting and things like that, and I just didn't like that. But yeah, definitely I've been mum shamed quite a lot. Especially since I'm a young mum, but to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. Unless you say something really harsh, then I don't really let it get to me. I know I'm a good mum, and that's the only thing that really matters. Biggest challenge you've faced since becoming a mum? Probably the change in sleep. I don't think I've really found it hard to be a mum apart from the sleep, because it does really affect you, especially within the first few weeks of becoming a mum. Even my family could tell that I just couldn't keep my eyes open because the sleep was really getting to me. So definitely the sleep, I would say, is the thing that challenged me the most in parenting, 100%. Best advice I've ever been given. Best advice I've ever been given is probably to listen to your heart, like listen to what you think, because mums know best. And even though mums aren't always right with everything they do, a lot of the time mums do know best, and you've got to do whatever's right by your kids. And that's probably the one thing and the best advice that I've ever been given, and I literally live by that. If my kid's ill, I know best. Like, I know if he's ill, I know if he's not all right, and things like that. So I definitely do think it's probably the best advice I've ever been given. Who is your mum crush? Okay, so I watch a lot of channel mum vloggers, and a lot of them are my channel mum crush. Definitely Katie and Baby. I absolutely love Katie and Baby. She's honestly a typical mum that you would find every single day, and she's so down to earth, and I really, really enjoy watching her. I've spoke to her quite a few times as well. Another one would definitely be Lucy Jessica Carter. I really, really enjoy watching her. I watch her quite a lot. She's got 2 boys and I love her fashion sense, and she's so pretty as well. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any more mum crushes. I think they're definitely the ones on the top of my list. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I nominate any other mum in the community to do this video also, and I hope you guys did enjoy watching. If you did, please smash a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll be extremely grateful. Also, if you haven't, please click the notification bell, because I've had people tell me that my videos aren't coming through in their subscription box, so make sure you've got the notification bell on so you are notified every single time I upload a video, and I'll see you on my next video.